Welcome back, everyone, to the Battle Brother podcast. It's been a moment, but
I
we are
have been
back.
asleep like the lion,
Yeah, I
but I
think
have
that.
awoken now.
Yeah, and how old have you gotten?
Not as old as a Lannister, apparently.
I mean, god damn, what is happening?
But to be fair, he kind of rocks it.
He
That that
does.
that that mini goes hard.
Yeah, I mean, most people, I do believe, unless you are like a Blood Angel fan or you buy the new Angron Mini, you're still going to buy the helmet. So, yeah, you won't notice the difference either way.
Yeah, but it's dope. It's
It,
dope. He
it is.
rocks it. He's got that angry old man gearing up to clean the galaxy type of vibe. I like it.
Yeah, he
But
doesn't
we'll
really.
get to that in a bit.
Yeah.
Um, The first thing I have on the agenda, because I literally read this on one of my local news apps while I was on the porcelain throne. Apparently, the most looked after term, the most searched term
Mhm.
on one of our favorite all-time websites, the website that has been for us during good times and bad, old Corn Hub, most searched category
Right.
in the entire goddamn website was hentai tentacle corn.
Of course, the degeneracy is great.
Now, what in the name of the missing father figures is wrong with everyone?
Slanesh has taken over.
I mean, listen, I blame us. I blame us, the people who have made anime mainstream, who thought we could just get away with enjoying our shonen without having consequences and repercussions. But over there, yonder, in the basement dweller land, everything got Rule 34.
Indeed.
Or is
That's
it Rule 43? I
no,
keep
no, it's
forgetting.
34. It is insane. Like the sexualization of everything, because that's what the rule says. If it exists, the spawn of it. But
Well,
man,
I was Naruto running, trying to be the Hokage. Someone was looking for something other than the One Piece. Christ alive. Like it's worse than the step sibling thing. It's just so much
yeah.
worse. I don't know how, but it's somehow worse. Like, nah, dog. Like, mm, but maybe I'm just old. I don't know. Maybe I am becoming the lion.
Speaking of which, man, 40K fans are eating well this year.
Define fans and eating well, because I feel like this is a personal attack directly against me. Of any Primarch that would have made a return, like I would have legitimately fucking jizz sprayed nails into the wall if it was Rogel Dorn somehow, who
I mean,
is somehow become my favorite Primarch aside from
yeah.
Angron.
I mean,
Um,
I think that Rogel as well as Jagatai have grown a massive fan
over the
base with the new
siege,
books, right? Yeah,
they're almost at sanguineous fanboy level at this time. Almost.
yeah, and
Um,
that does make sense. But I do think that, well, logically speaking, and also just in terms of book sales, having the Lion returning was the most likely.
so here's the thing though. I've gone through multiple stages of grief dealing with these news. Now, I have one thing that is keeping me very optimistic. And I said this during the Primark tier list after
Yeah,
spending 15 minutes completely dunking on the Lion. Um, they have a chance here because on surface level, by a wide margin, the Lion and Jagatai are the coolest Primarchs by a wide margin.
oh yeah,
Like at least from the loyalists, because we always have saucy boy Dracula and stuff, you know. But that's the jihadist spacewalker. But like they're by a wide margin, by a country mile, the coolest, most unique Primarchs. King Arthur in space and Genghis Khan in space.
yeah.
And one thing that has held them back for years was really bad writing.
Indeed.
And you can say a lot of things about the lion, but he is one of the most poorly written characters in all of 40K. Like it feels like they were actively working to subvert his coolness, because you can't read a book like Unremembered Empires and walk away affectionate to the lion.
No.
Just to make an example, I'm not going to go through every single book, but they have a chance here to give him the rowboat girly man makeover. And no, I'm not talking about a Xeno voluptuous girlfriend.
No.
I'm talking about a situation where he can be made compelling now. There is a shot there. Like I am on the edge of my seat to pre-order the new audiobook about the lion. I am dying to understand what's going on with him, because if he has made a modicum of progress as far as maturity, if he has developed something beyond surface level Asperger personality, he's gonna be the fucking coolest. Like I said this, and this is the thing that fell through the cracks from everything I said in the Primarch tier list. I genuinely made an effort to like the lion.
Yeah. I mean, there is character development there because I think a thing that the GW is doing with all of the Primarchs is that for some reason, which is kind of weird to me still, because we are going to be talking about that whole gig with him getting older, but like in their maturity, they are becoming more likable. It's not that Robute wasn't already. I already liked the guy, but with his resurrection, he became so much cooler. The same thing here. I do believe I read through some of the description of the minis. I stumbled on like some few lines that he mentions. And in one of them, he says that he failed his father, the lion that is, also failed his brothers, and is now scared of failing his sons. That is like a defining character of showing that the lion has grown in his beauty sleep and
it
is
has
ready.
It has the one thing that you've never seen from the lion: genuine accountability.
Indeed.
From that sentence, he's no longer acting like he is the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. It's very possible that the lion wasn't at the rock to begin with. That's a theory I've heard spinning around, and I find it genuinely possible. And I'll explain why. Number one, if he was in any sort of stasis, he shouldn't get old.
Oh, no.
If he was held in some sort of coma for 10,000 years without any sort of legitimate sustenance, even a Primarch dies. That makes no sense. Which there is a possibility that he pulled a Vulcan.
Oh.
This is something we've seen Primarchs do, and we've seen even characters that are of a lower level than Primarchs do. We've seen Custodes and we've seen Legionnaires travel the galaxy completely unnoticed. Their capability for stealth is quite phenomenal, and there's a bit of a reference to that in Unremembered Empire. I keep referencing that book, but it's one of the longer book novels where you have the lion.
Sure.
There's a scene there where he's hunting Conrad Kurz in one of the lower decks, and he's showing very hunter-like capabilities of moving without making a lot of disturbance and being noticed. Now, if a Custodes can travel the galaxy and spy around without making a scene, without being noticed, without being recognized, what stops a Primarch?
It's a good point.
Everything that will be discussed is fan theory and conjecture until we read the book, or at least until the latest Arcs of Omen thing drops. But whew.
Yeah, I see that. I'm still bothered by the whole him getting older thing. There, I mean, the look, he rocks it, but like as far as I understood, because I know that this is going to be something that people will discuss. Primarchs are said to have like accelerated growth, but that's the thing only until they reach their, in quotation mark, have to point that out since we're doing a podcast here, reach their maturity. And at that point, then things are pretty much smooth sailing, right? They can die by decapitation, a certain one, die by asphyxiation by the stinking brothers Brab Cloud, Jagatai Khan, or be mortally wounded, like, yeah, a lot of them are.
To be fair, Jagatai almost got perma-killed by a demon scythe. So let's give him some credit.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I mean, it was a hell of an ass whooping.
Yeah, that's true. But then, of course, we have the example of the likes of Perturabo and the Harad.
Doctor Who is in complete shambles. This dude just fucking jumped into a timey-wimey vortex and didn't age.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell? Well,
Yeah.
everything is just decaying around him.
Yeah, that's true. You can make the argument that perhaps somehow we have fabulous bile with a lot of Nivea cream, anti-aging cream, aiding him somehow, but no.
Or another theory: the Watchers in the Dark screwed something up.
Maybe.
I don't trust the fucking space Ewoks. Do you?
No, me neither.
Is it the Ewoks or Jawas? I keep getting those confused.
No, Jawas, right?
Jawas. They're
Yeah.
Jawas.
Yeah. But yeah.
I wonder what kind of droid the lion traded for his new shiny sword. By the
Ooh.
way, this mofo is rocking the Emperor's shield. How? Like legit how?
Every son is going to come back with something from their dad.
Is it gonna be like a build your own emperor type of puzzle? Eventually they have enough to put him together like
That the morphing.
a warp god goddamn Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah, they're the Power Rangers, dude. They're going to
They'll
form a
combine
Megazord.
together, they have Voltron.
Yeah.
So here's, remember when I said that if they make it a reasonable thing, I'm okay with Angron taking the L because he's a bad dude and that's liable to happen.
Sure.
If it's the Lion on a massive comeback on a rowboat girly man type redemption arc, which will by far be better than Zuko's redemption arc in Avatar, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big enough of an occurrence
Yeah.
to be okay. Thematically speaking, this is fine. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't some plot breaking goddamn Grey Knight chapter master who pulled some warp fuckery. Like, that annoyed me.
I do see that as a possibility, and especially on the cooperation aspect of things. Like, he had somewhat of a good standing with Gilliman before he got thrown out for the shit that he did. But he is also the oldest brother, at least according to Unremembered Empire.
And I
So,
don't know if people remember, but the Lion is sitting on the access codes to some of the most destructive Dark Age of technology type weaponry. Like at least the stuff he didn't give Perturabo.
Yeah.
But they still, like, they have like weaponized Men of Iron. People forget that about the Dark Angel. This is why, like, I tried to like them so hard. They have the coolest shit. They're Knights of the Round Table in space. I cannot not like someone where you can legitimately, unironically say, Asmodai, make him repent. It just tickles me willy.
Yeah.
However, the Lion was a bit of an issue for me.
Perhaps that's why they aged him like that, because they really wanted to go through the King Arthur look.
The one thing that we can say about the Primarchs with any sort of consistency is that they have zero sense of consistency as far as how they develop from one to the next.
True.
Because some people can just heal from everything. Angron can't get over an aneurysm machine. Like, somehow Lorgar has never grown a spine. Like,
and
They just evolve differently.
and some are just too OP for their own good. Goddamn Angel. But
Listen, they're dealing with that angel being OP stuff. They're doing their best to kind of curtail it. It's balancing out the writing,
yeah,
but
it's
yeah, they're bringing back the lion, and like I've gone full circle from really depressed about it to really hype about it. I'm like, fuck it, GW. Give
yeah.
me your best shot. You've made me like the Ultramarines, which I was passionately hateful of them in the beginning.
Yeah.
And over time, like I've gone to a point where I've genuinely have ultramarine merchandise. Like I have a ultramarine necklace thingy. I
Yeah,
have
the hoodie.
is it called a pendant if it's for a dude? I don't know. It's not my first language. Come on. But like I got this chain thingy for the Ultramarine. I have a hoodie. I also have like a chain thing for like the World Eaters, and I got a
Cool.
bunch of Warhammer merchandise. I wear my merchandise like that and paint minis.
Represent.
Here's the thing though, like the people who don't know me like face to face, like I'm a bigger dude. I'm like I think in American standards it's 6'1". At any given time, if I have a jiu-jitsu tournament or not, I'm walking around between 240 to 265. Like I'll wear whatever. Like if you feel some sort of way about it, holla at me, I guess. But no one kind of feels like calling out the tall dude with forearm tattoos about wearing geek shit. So
No.
and the cauliflower ears help.
Yeah.
It's like a
I-
friend told me the other day, cauliflower ears on human beings. It's like bright colors on animals and nature. It's like a very distinct warning. Dude, it's one of the first thing I look for. Like the male listeners on deck, which is probably all of them. Let's be honest, will understand. But dudes size other dude up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't
Of
know if
course.
you want to fight. I don't know if you want to fight her for her, but like we're sizing other dudes up.
In
And
other, do you consider yourself to be an exotic bird?
oh, Jesus. I'm not that flamboyant, but like I sometimes like this is like a form of PTSD I'm walking around with. I'm constantly concerned of a fight breaking out,
Yeah.
but I do blame that more on my years of working security
Yeah.
in various forms, all the way from like being a nightclub bouncer to like like government contract stuff, which I can't elaborate too much, but
No.
like
Secret Service here.
I've spent so long on edge that like I'm constantly worried of a fight breaking out. So I'm sizing up everyone. I'm like, no cauliflower's ears. I can fold them in two. It's cool. Like,
Which is freaking great, especially since the new Arcs of Omen books may be dealing a lot with the dealings of the Dark Angel. So
oh, it's gonna
don't
be so
worry.
good. You know who's making an appearance?
Who?
Our favorite champion of Chaos Undivided. They're bringing Belacor back, man. He's gonna wreck Vashtor's shit. I'm here for it. I love Belacor.
He's cool.
He's got a swag to him. He's got like Chaos Gods give me all your powers, but he's like some kind of space Eric Cartman. I'll do what I want.
Yeah.
He's just unyielding, and I love it.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun, man. We have all from Cole Swain to goddamn the new Lord Cypher. What was his name again? Zahariel?
Man, Cypher's on some dope stuff
Yeah.
in these Arcs Element books. It's like there's spoilers running around. He's doing some dope things. He has like direct interactions with Custodes. He's
on his best life.
Oof,
But also,
and there's gonna be a direct interaction at some point between Lion and Cypher.
yeah,
Are we emotionally ready for this?
I don't think so.
I don't know, man. Like I'm still reeling from the end in the death part one. Like that book hit me. Oh God.
Well, then let's talk about that a bit, because of course there's a lot going on also with the 10th edition that I would love to cover, but let's get into the end of the death first.
Can I start with a quote and a bit of an impression?
Go ahead.
One moment. I am old. I am tired. I sit upon the golden throne. Ooh,
Oh,
that entire chapter.
stepdaddy Malkador.
Oh my God. I was like, I'm not a big Malkador fan, but like that entire chapter, I was like, oh God damn it.
Yeah, the feels. Man, everybody was. No, I would have started to say that Malkador was being a Chad here, but everybody was being a Chad. God damn, what a book.
That entire book is Giga Chad personified.
Yeah. I mean, you have the resurrection of the Khan, which originally I think many thought that was a Malkador thing until we find out that the Emperor did the deed, which makes sense now because he will do that later on with Gilliman. But yeah, that was a nice thing of him to do.
We had a bit of very disturbing foreshadowing when it comes to our Bori Loken
Uh-huh.
from the beginning of the book.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, I want to recognize the fact that Horace, though in a delirious state, is giving my boy Loken his flowers
Uh-huh.
because like he has a conversation with uh in his mind he has a conversation with the historian, the fuck, I keep forgetting the title. Remembrancer.
Remember, yeah,
Yeah,
it
so
is.
he's having a conversation in his mind with the Remembrancer, and he makes a comparison between the Mournival and the Primarchs, which was an interesting comparison that I never thought of. This was a very, very unique take. I liked it very much. And he says at one point, but Loken, Abaddon, he is my Horus. He is so and so and so and so.
Yeah.
Loken, he is my Sanguinius.
Oof.
I think Horus is gonna kill Loken next book, and I don't think I'm ready, dog.
But he was there.
I'm not ready. It's gonna be one of those moments where I cry like a bitch. I had a few of those in a few other books. Like I like the thing about the Warhammer universe is you can get emotionally invested in characters
Yeah.
and spend time with them for years. Because we're reading Garvia Loken since Horus Rising.
Yeah.
Been a long time. What year was Horus Rising published? I want to understand how long ago we've been at this with our boy. Horus
That's
Rising was
what 2006, right?
it was published at 2006 on wow, like almost to the day 2006, like April 25th. So like goddamn, like oof. We've been at this with this dude for a long time.
17 years. Yeah, almost.
My God. It's like, so I've jumped into Horus Rising after that, but I have spent over a decade with this character. And this one's gonna sting, dog.
Yeah,
That's the painful part about the whole Horus Heresy retelling, because we kind of know how everything ends. We knew that Malkador is gonna sit on the golden throne, and we know he dies. It's not a spoiler.
But the details.
However, the context. The emotional connection. I was not prepared for that to resonate so goddamn hard.
Yeah. And even the time before they even teleport onto the ship, like you have bloody Sanguinius, Dawn, freaking Vulcan being there, helping Malkador as he stumbles on his way onto the throne. Like he's the second dad. They are there for him, and Malkador tells the Emperor, "Don't weep." What the fuck?
He literally says, "Don't be sad."
Yeah, don't be sad.
Yeah, he is speaking on behalf of the Emperor, and he's saying it hurts him more than he thought.
Yeah. His best friend.
Oh my god! And I'm like, why'd you keep this bromance away from us for so long? God damn it!
But
And every single Primarch is going through a bit of a journey there. The first thing the Emperor does, he resurrects Jagatai.
mhm,
That literally his first action before he jumps from the gold throne.
yeah. And then there's
And
the yeah, go ahead.
one of the things we see in this book, I'm jumping between subjects because it's really, the whole book is chaotic. It's very difficult to go through it chronologically because
Yeah.
time literally, this is a direct rule to the book. Time has stopped. There
Yeah.
is no actual time. It's all happening all at once.
Yeah.
It's everywhere all the time. When someone gives
Everything
someone an
everywhere all at
Oscar.
once. It's a literal movie. It's Oscar
My girl
worthy.
Michelle Yeoh with the Oscar. God damn it. I've been on that bandwagon since Crouching Tiger.
Me too.
Oh man. Oh man. That was a very wholesome Oscars.
Yeah, it was. Surprisingly.
Except for the fact they robbed Angela Bassett, the bastards.
Yeah. Oh, the Queen will get it
They
another day.
they were never gonna give an Oscar to a Marvel movie.
No. They won't. Hopefully Marvel picks itself together. But,
Yeah,
but that's a topic for another discussion.
Please don't make me get upset talking about our dude Jonathan Majors. Like, no.
Let's not get into that.
This is why even I don't date white women.
Dude, it's bad.
Nah, dog. It's our dude. Like how you gonna like Creed 3 just came out? How you doing to me?
And you know that people are going to correlate that with like just based off complete ignorance. They're just going to correlate his persona in the movie with what happened.
I'm gonna throw something out there as an outsider looking in, right?
Yeah.
So here's the thing though, when they say that there's no like targeting of celebrities and there's no institutional racism in the States. So from my understanding, his accuser retracted her accusation. They have video evidence and text evidence proving that it's wrong, and yet they still arrested him.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but we hopefully, I hope not, because actually, to be fair, those trials kind of went through a weird direction. But I hope that we don't get another Johnny Depp kind of situation where we have to watch a goddamn
unless
trial.
they searched his house and found a literal skeleton in the closet, what in the actual seven hells?
Yeah, it's messed up.
So back to the end and the death.
Yeah.
Roland Dorn is losing his mind, along with a lot of people.
Oh boy, let's talk quickly about how the teleportation goes, because that stuff is wacky.
So the Emperor and his companions get dumped into a hangar.
Yeah, level 8.
And then everyone around the Emperor proceeds to lose their mind, and actual custodies attack the Emperor.
Yeah, I even have a quote here. But they come for him, weeping blood and shrieking. The master of mankind's own guardians come at him from all sides.
It's
Custodians.
Insane. In that scene, though, we see two things that we've never seen before. Just how psychotically deep the loyalty of the custodian runs.
Yeah.
And we see the Emperor pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is legit in a foul mood. He is angrier than he was at Magnus when he did nothing wrong. This is the most wrathful I've ever seen the Emperor. Like, more pissed off than he was at Lorgar.
Yeah.
And we see how emotionally connected he is to the custodies. Like, he genuinely makes, like he suffers every one of them that he has to kill.
Yeah, they were there before the Primarchs even. So I mean, there's like a running joke that I personally have that I don't always bring up, but like they were the first.
They're the actual sons.
Yeah.
That's why he calls them companions and not tools.
Yeah. Damn. But
But that
yeah,
that
the
being
Emperor
said,
slays a majority of them.
and then you have Sanguinius and his boys
Yeah.
having a hell of a stumping.
Yeah. I mean, let's quickly talk about Sanguinius.
So let's run through the gauntlet of what he's done in the last few books together. Okay?
Yeah.
What he did was first assist his legion with fighting the traitors in Saturnine while giving them mollywhopping to a bunch of titans. That's number one.
Damn Titan Company.
He then proceeded to fight multiple demon incursions
Yep.
and Angron and Kabanda. And after he killed Angron, he covered everyone retreating to the closing Eternity Gate until it was sealed.
Yeah.
This bro, this Giga Chad, this paragon of sacrifice, has given and given and given until he can give no more, and he is on his last leg.
I swear. That's what that when I say that the angel is OP, he's fucking OP.
I don't think so, and I'll tell you why.
Mm,
We are seeing him gather injuries in a rate that he cannot sufficiently recover from. It's
no.
damage on damage on damage. There's no Primarch fuckery going on here.
No, I mean, I don't understand the thing. He himself knows how it's going to end. So yeah, I do see that.
But also, I'm gonna keep it a buck. His dialogue there with the companions that are speaking on behalf of the emperors,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, that also cuts deep. Like his sense of duty is astonishing. It is Rogel Dorn levels of commitment, and that's saying something.
Yeah. Speaking of which, he gave him a hug, shed a tear, and was like, "This is the last time we're gonna see each other, bro." That shit was
I don't
sad.
I listen. I don't remember if Rogel Dorn hugged him back.
I don't think that Rogel wanted that.
I know he hugged Vulcan once.
Mm-hmm.
But Rogel is let's talk about my man Rogel acquiring PTSD as we speak. Uh,
No. Oh
he
boy.
is you want to talk about someone we are encountering something that I didn't think is possible. We are encountering psychological warfare by the blood god.
Emotional damage.
I mean, does it count if the soul bleeds? I mean,
Sure.
God damn. That description of wandering through a bloody desert.
Yeah.
And I know that it sounds kind of contrasting a bloody desert,
Mm-hmm.
but if you listen to it, it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
And the only place where you can find shade is at the shadow of a wall. And he sits there for shade and he starts having this voice in his head, slowly but surely pushing him towards accepting the blood god.
Say the words, boy. Say it.
Blood for the who,
The
blood
who?
for the when, blood for the what. And it's this haunting monologue.
Yeah.
And we finally see the one thing that we considered impossible. Rogel Dorn at his breaking point, admitting that even he is over his head, that it is more than he can cope with. He can't think anymore. He can't plan anymore. He has no more strategies. He can't deal. He just wants to fight. And that's when Korn finds his end.
Yeah.
And it's rattling.
It's crazy.
Like it's such a huge swerve from everything we know about Rogel Dorn so far. And it was expertly done.
Yeah.
I gotta give them credit. The last few novels have kept a very high standard of writing. The quality was very high because there was a bit there in the heresy, which I was expecting if you're breaking it over multiple books. Like, I knew there'll be a couple of duds there. Mortis, I'm looking right at you. Solo War, you too? God damn it. Listen, some of those books were a dirge. But Saturnine, Warhawk, Echoes of Eternity, The End and the Death.
Yeah,
Outstanding.
they sure are.
Even
Yeah,
Slaves to Darkness was very good.
yeah. Props to the writers. It's so well done.
Yeah, but like Solar War, First Wall, Mortis, eh. Like you can literally read the synopsis for those books and you're okay. You're good.
Yeah,
Uh
yeah.
like
This,
I literally just had to coach a friend of mine on reading through the Siege of Terra, and I
Mhm.
just told just flat out read the spoilers for those books, skip them. Not worth it. There's not one scene in those books that is worth it. Can you name one scene from those three books that is worth it, except for I don't know, maybe Ralderon throwing the dude off the wall? Or
That
was it not Ralderon? I don't remember who it was.
hold on.
Was it Ralderon?
I think so.
That's the only thing that comes to mind. Like
Or am I
where he
having
throws
like a Mandela effect now that you mentioned that?
where he throws the Sons of Horus captain off the wall, the one that's too big for his britches,
I think so.
with the demon sword,
Yeah,
where he gets sentenced to life in the warp.
yeah.
That's what you get, you bastard. Um, was he a Sons of Horus or was he a Night Lord? I don't remember. Like those things are like it was so unimpactful of a book that even the scenes that were good don't linger. But we get to experience the Blood Angels and the Imperial Fists literally just losing their composure.
Yeah, they're
Because
having a hard time.
for those who haven't read the book, and even with the spoilers, it's just a magnificent book. It's just a masterpiece. Uh, Everything is losing its mind. Up is down, left is right. Space and time are all jammed together. The clocks have stopped. Some are going backwards. Kilometers don't matter. Everything is fusing together. Everything is either dead or dying or being reincarnated in an absolute bizarre turn of events. And the one who suffered the most are the Imperial Fists
Yeah.
because their entire doctrine revolves around logic.
It's
But what do you do where the laws of physics are defied? Like
yeah,
what
when
do you
they've
do?
left the chat.
And like the first person who notices how messed up everything is Loken.
Hmm.
He's on patrol and he walks across the street, and the next you know, he traveled 130 kilometers and he just crossed the street.
Yeah.
What the hell? And we go through several people's journey, which is sensational. We rendezvous again with John Grammaticus and all the
Ah,
all the
yeah.
peers, the Alpha Legionnaire.
Oh,
Uh,
fuck me. The Alpha Legion. This book sold me. I want so much on the Alpha Legion right now.
oh,
Please.
I told you they were there.
Please.
But didn't I tell you that the Alpha Legion are fucking dope? The only thing bad about the Alpha Legion is there's so little books about the Alpha Legion.
I want so much right now. Oh my god. Sleeper agent activated and shit. And the
But we
us
know, but we finally know. We
yeah.
can say for sure what are the Alpha Legion? What side did they fucking take in the heresy?
Yeah.
They
And
were undecided for a very long time, and
yeah.
then they sided with the Emperor.
Yeah. And there are some that are stuck underneath the Imperium in stasis. So
Yeah. waiting to be activated by psychosuggestion.
Yeah. 42nd millennium. Come on, come on. What you
Oh my
doing?
god, bro. And also, we finally know what happened to that girl the word bearers like so much.
Cyrene.
Yep. God, I was hoping she was dead for good.
Nope. That was a
They,
big
they
nope.
just they just can't let me have a full win. They just
No.
can't. And she's knee deep in the plot, the bitch. I can't stand her.
The word bearers are going to haunt us to the end of the world.
You know, I keep having the visual of the son of the Emperor's children swordsman in the town of Horus, the word bearers one, where he has the meltdown and he laughs incomprehensibly.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel like that's Games Workshop messing with me because I hate the word bearers so much. Like
They're having like a
I genuinely only like Argold Hall. I know I'm so basic, but I genuinely only like Argold Hall in that
that makes
entire
sense.
legion.
That makes sense.
Even the redeemable characters in the word bearers are reprehensible.
Yeah.
And
They're
even
all
if they're
having a great
redeemable, they
time.
just die.
I think they're having a great time. Everybody's doing that J. Jonah Jameson laugh right now.
Yeah, I'm just but so Vulcan has a confrontation with John Grammaticus, and apparently Vulcan remembers his time as an ogre. For those who don't remember,
Oh god.
in the book, we again touch on the book Unremembered Empire because there's so many fucking points of context in that book. I think that's the only purpose for that book. It's not a very good book, but there's a lot of plot points in it. Like the only good things that happen in that book is they're human. It's again humanizing Robo Girly Man.
Yeah.
It was on that agenda. Sanguinius is just uber cool as always. He's magnificent and we love him to death.
Some
And
detail on the lion.
and Conrad Kurz is just a Chad. He's just, I know terrorism is bad, but he's so cool.
Dude. I know terrorism is bad, but god damn,
However,
he bait.
if ever there was a nice poster boy for terrorism, I mean, if he's still in charge, don't you join Space ISIS?
Oh god.
No, I honestly don't, but he's cool. I fucking love him. He's dope. He's one of the cooler Primarchs in general, making Psychosis look good since 2012.
God damn. Yo, with the 10th edition going on, unfortunately the guy is dead.
Fuck me.
But
Fuck
I
10th edition.
look.
Here's the thing though, all right? Every time I'm almost ready to get back into tabletop gaming. Oh, by the way, the entire last fucking edition is irrelevant.
Yep, we have new ones that. Okay, hold on. One thing that's great is that they are providing the new stuff for free.
That's fine though. But what about all the new fucking minis that are going to be game breaking, as they always do?
Yeah, but that's on you.
How is that on me?
I don't know.
I didn't write it. This is what they do consistently, and this is what they do in every. Let's be honest, Warhammer is a tabletop gacha game at this point.
Yeah.
Like I was until very recently, I was somewhat addicted to a healthy degree, but still addicted to a mobile game called Dragon Ball Legends. Yes, I'm basic, I know. But it has gotten to a point that they release new characters all the time, like because it's basically collectibles.
Yeah.
And they released like 4 characters in a row that were so hard to get and yet so game breaking that you could not play online unless you had them. And by the 4th character that they released, I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna sit this one out, and just deleted the whole fucking game. Because like they have what's called ultras, which are the most rare characters.
Yeah.
And they released like 3 in a row that was insanely game breaking. Like they released one for it was Vegito Blue,
Okay.
right? No, not Vegito, Gogeta Blue from the
Okay, that's
Broly.
even better. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and the artwork was amazing, but it was very hard to get. Like the pull rates on it was like 1.5% from all pulls,
Hmm.
which is fucking insane. Which so like you have to spend an insane amount of money to get it. I'm not doing that for a mobile game.
Nah.
And it was just and he has like built-in counter that goes directly into his super move, so you can't even attack him. It's an automatic counter after a certain bar fills up, and he has an insanely powerful super move that just fucking one-shots you for most characters.
Sounds a lot like the actual Gogeta, sure.
Yeah, but still not very suitable for a mobile game in PvP. So like it got to a point where if I jump into an online PvP and you can't see the character that the other team is going to use against you until you're already assigned to that person and you can't pull out.
Yeah.
If I see that the other person has um, Gogeta Blue, I'm
Yeah.
throwing the fight. I'm
Yeah,
literally
sure.
just forfeiting. I'm not putting myself through that
Yeah.
because by the time you go through Gogeta, anything else he has on the team is gonna fucking destroy you. It doesn't even matter. And
Yeah,
then
I think that's the unfortunate part to correlate that with the current state of the
but
tabletop then.
but wait, there's more,
Oh.
right? So after Gogeta Blue, they released Ultra Hit,
Mm-hmm.
which was cool and not insanely game breaking, but had a literal time freeze
Yep.
where he could literally freeze you in time and hit you with multiple moves, including a super, while you can't do anything. You can't defend, you can't switch characters, you can't do shit.
Oh.
Not very fun, but still manageable because that move takes a very long time to charge. So if you get him before that, it's fine. But then they released an Ultra Goku Black, which was worse than both of them. And I'm looking at the move sheet, I'm looking at the stats, and I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of done. At this point, it's just a joke at my expense. I'm done. So Games Workshop are doing the same thing. They have you build up an army. You're emotionally invested. You're financially invested. You've painted. You want to play. You have a strategy. You understand the rules. And then they publish some absurdly strong minis. I give you flashbacks to old times Tau. Everybody has PTSD when they think about what happened with Tau shenanigans back in the day.
And of course, also release, I guess, the equivalent to that Goku Black one, the Beastman. Like, who cares?
Yeah. So they make something absurdly OP. You buy all the minis and then they nerf it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I ain't doing this again. I'm not playing 10th edition. I'm sticking with the lore. Yeah, I can't. I just can't go through this roller coaster because I don't even live in the States. It's way more expensive to get this shit over here
Yeah.
with all the import taxes and stuff. Like
Oh yeah, same here in Denmark.
getting a new army from top to bottom, like if you don't, it's gotten to a point where if you don't buy the latest Primaris, if you don't buy this, like some of those are not worth getting, but like certain key minis become to a point where your army becomes uncompetitive if you don't have it. And I'm like, yeah, that's not fun.
No.
You've monetized the fun out of this game.
Yeah, that's bad. Well,
Now,
but a good thing to come with the 10th edition is that my friends, my most hated bugs are gonna be more relevant now. The Tyranids.
yo, the new Tyranids are amazing.
I like them. I really like them.
Did they tease Psyker Tyranids in that
Yeah.
trailer?
Yeah, they
My,
did. They decimated that librarian like it was nothing.
and Primaris Terminators. By the way, let's talk about Primaris. My boy Dante,
He's on that juice.
he just wanted to die. But instead, hey, listen, Dante, how about you hop on some super TRT? Like, logically, how did he even survive the Rubicon Primaris?
I don't know.
I'm gonna
I,
say something that's gonna be a hot take, though.
mm-hmm.
Canonically speaking, I think that Dante has surpassed Sigismund.
uh, uh, Possibly.
And I'll explain. By the time Sigismund was 1,000 years old,
Yeah.
he was past his prime,
Mm-hmm.
right? Still enough of a Chad to almost permakill Abaddon.
Yeah.
However, Dante is such a Giga Chad that he can 1v1 a Swarm Lord, beat death, and survive the Rubicon Primaris.
Yeah.
I think he is more of a Chad than Sigismund at this point.
Yeah. That
Like, the resume just speaks for itself.
I think it's like one of these situations, right? When because a lot of people are certainly going to be speculating right now, like who's going to be the next Primarch to return. Obviously, Sanguinius is not going to be that. He may just be the last to ever bring because yeah, how do you
I
fix
don't
that
know. I don't know if they,
shenanigans?
I don't know if they can actually, in any logical way, bring back Sanguinius.
But we still have echoes of him going about, right? We have on one hand the Sanguinor who pops off here and there like a freaking magic MacGuffin. We have our boy, oh my god, how do I keep forgetting his name? The librarian.
Mephiston.
Mephiston, yeah, who's the dark side of Sanguinius. And
Ooh.
then we have Dante, the light and the dark of the Blood Angels, and somebody to channel both of those forces. I don't know
Can
what the
I
hell
can
could
I
happen, but I
can
would
I
like to
propose a
see
question?
something. Yeah,
Is it a fair take to say that Mephiston is the most badass space marine of all times?
I I wouldn't mind somebody saying that because
Like, it's arguable that he's the most badass space marine of all times.
yeah, it
Not the
is
best,
arguable.
quite possibly the strongest,
Hmm.
but not necessarily, because Hyperion is a thing.
Yeah,
There have been some ridiculously strong space marines, like psychically, physically. I'm looking right at you, Ragnar Blackmane, you fuck. The strongest plot armor in existence. Even Primarchs are looking at that plot armor like, what the fuck? So the closing of the book, we went way off the reservation there, but the
yeah,
closing of the book is something that made me literally say, oh shit, out loud.
yeah.
Um, Somehow, through magic, whatamafucks, Garville Loken is aboard the Vengeful Spirit.
Yep. He was there. That was the thing that I tried to get across. I was there the day Horus slew the Emperor.
Yeah, and it's like every Garville Loken fan in the world was reading that scene and went like, he's in danger. Oh boy, I am not ready for the next
No.
book. I am concerned. I am woo. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, the emotional investment is going to be great here.
The heartbreak is. I'm finally going to understand what all those Games of Thrones fans were going through.
We read the book, but now the new book is coming. Oh god damn it. We can't do the memes. We can't do the
No,
Game of Thrones memes here because we still don't have a show and we're never going to get a
we're
show like
never
that.
getting the heresy. Let's
No.
just let it go. We're
A-
never. It's
Animated, maybe.
even animated. It's gonna need more episodes than One Piece.
I'll watch that. I'll invest on that.
Yeah, I'm not really prepared to seeing some chapter master go gomo gomo no. No. By the way, I
Oh.
fucking I kind of I have a love hate relationship with One Piece, because One Piece is the most uneven anime of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the parts that are good range from very good to phenomenal.
Yeah.
That I give it. But the unbelievable amount of filler and ridiculous nonsense that is just plain bad.
Yeah.
Like, I understand world building, but like, you could cut that show by like 700 episodes and it'll still be fine.
Yeah. The thing is, Oda didn't want to stretch the world that much, but he ended up doing it, and it's still stuck. So I won't blame the guy for having a good business strategy there.
I'm again not hating on the player, hating on the game.
Yeah.
Like, make your paper, boo boo. It's not a personal thing. I'm not that kind of neckbeard. I'm just saying, man, is that a dirge. So, from one obscene thing to the next, we need to talk about me doing some Alpha Legion shit.
Oh yeah, you didn't have a great time as of late.
Define a great time, because
a goddamn revolution going on.
Let me tell you about the song of my people. For those who don't know and haven't figured it out from the intro and the original video that I was in, I am Israeli. And lately in Israel, the floor has been lava. Everything was on fire. Riots were afoot. There were protests everywhere, all the time, all at once, from various factions of the population and the political sphere. And I was 100% involved. So let's start with the why. Why is everything on fire? Our country has a very fragile democracy because it's a small country and it's very hard to create separation of governance, and it was kind of a fragile balance as it is. And there is a bit of judicial OPness going on, right? And that's agreed upon by like a large portion of society, that the Supreme Court here has way too much power, to a point where it gets in the way of clear and concise governing. Okay, so that part is fairly logical, right? Makes sense.
Yeah.
It is too many checks and balances to a degree. However, we had an election not too long ago, and because Benjamin Netanyahu had enough votes, but had no one to partner with him that makes any sort of basic sense, he had to align himself with the most extreme right-winged lunatics that made it past the limit percentage to get into government.
Yeah.
And the Orthodox religion parties. So we have a bit of an axis of evil going on. Now, keep in mind, I am not a left-wing voter. Like, I am very much a right-wing minded dude in the terms of what it means to my local politics, national security, finance, things like that. But there's being right-wing and there's being messianic and militant and nationalistic. And oh boy.
That went overboard.
I sent you a video about one of the dudes. I don't know if you saw it. So one of the party members for the extreme right is a dude named Itamar Ben-Gvir. Itamar Ben-Gvir was rejected by the Israeli military for being too extreme.
Yeah.
He was 18 years old and he was labeled an extremist. That's not a promising start. And so that branch of governing, that government that was formed, decided that they're doing a judicial reform. Now, a judicial reform is 100% needed in my country. 100%.
Yeah.
But they took it a step too far, to a point where you're looking at the laws that are going to be voted on and you're like, that's
Warhammer 40K like.
That kind of looking like fascism you got there, dude. Like, what are you doing? And everyone with a bit of common sense has lost their mind.
Yeah.
And we have been protesting for 13 weeks straight.
Yeah. Saw the streets, at least in the news.
I've sent you photos from the protests.
Dude, when you compare that to Alpha Legion stuff, I was like, wait a minute, what do you mean? Saw the pictures.
Yeah, it's like I'm sending him a picture where there's a lot of policemen on horseback in riot gear, and we literally set the road on fire. Like the highway was on fire. And I just sent him a photo and said, "Cue bulls on parade."
Jesus.
Yeah, that was kind of neat. That was neat.
Yeah.
So it got so bad for the course of 3 days that at one point there was another protest on the highway, and again they set it on fire, and they broke bricks over miles of the highway to impair the highway so it'll stay blocked. The protest was dispersed at 2:30 in the morning.
Wow.
The highway was not open until like 7 a.m. Like it was a squad of tractors on top of that shit. It took them hours to clear the highway. Yeah,
so effective protest.
Yeah, so now what's happening is they kind of paused legislation, but it feels like a political maneuver, and there's going to be more protests tomorrow. And yesterday there was a protest by the right-wing supporters for the government reform, and like it's just so messed up, and my country's so dumb. My country's so dumb. And before you jump to it in the comments, yes, I am well aware that my country has dropped the ball in engaging our ongoing issues with the Palestinians.
Yeah.
I understand that a solution that is mutually beneficial to both sides should have been reached years ago.
It's hard.
But for outsiders looking in, it is way more complex, and it's a way more nuanced discussion on what's going on. Do I think that the situation right now is fair to Palestinians? Absolutely not. But it's really problematic because people, when they have that debate, they want to start telling you where you should start counting history. But that's really not fair, because I'll give you an example, my family tree, right? Like I can go back historically for centuries and trace my origin back to here. So like, how can you tell me that I'm not native to this place, right?
Yeah.
Like we had the diaspora and we had everything, but that wasn't like intentional. That was forced upon us. People forget it.
Yeah.
Like we were through multiple occasions historically, and these things are both historically and archaeologically proven. We were expelled from our country, not by our own wishes. So we went back home, and then we went back home, and every 5 years someone starts a war with us. And, like the only reason why we found ourselves in this conundrum with the Palestinians is because of our war with Jordan. People forget that. Like the Gaza Strip was given to us in a peace treaty with the Jordanians after we had a war.
Yeah.
And like the Jordanians just took the PLO and dropped it on us like a hot potato and just deal with this. And I understand the need for identity, and I'm not gonna sit here and talk shit about Palestinians. I think that one of the biggest mistakes that my country has done was to think that they can kind of let this shit linger and fester.
No.
I'm gonna quote my favorite. I can't quote it by verbatim, but Babylon 5, which I think is the best sci-fi show ever, and I'll die on that hill that it's the best sci-fi show ever. Has a quote about the unbeatable desire for freedom.
Yeah.
Jacquard says it, and I think that's true. Like I was way more militant when I was young, and I was very much nationalistic when I was young. But you grow up, you see the world, you see a war or two, and you're like, yeah, we got to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
And but it's not all one-sided, because like there was people, when I hate getting political, but there was you go over it historically and you look at like peace summits. There was a peace summit called Camp David with Ehud Barak.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the one that had Bill Clinton kind of smack his face, going like, that was the best shot ever for peace, and they just fucking walked off with it. Like Bill Clinton was fucking flabbergasted. He walked away from that without a peace treaty. So imagine you go into a negotiation, right?
Yeah.
And the other side is willing, and I'm rounding it up. I'm kind of it's kind of a rough estimate, but like the other side is willing to give you 80% of what you demand. That's a good deal, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, not to Yasser Arafat, it wasn't. It was egos beating common sense. And again, this is not pointing a finger at Palestinian people. This is pointing a finger at Palestinian leadership.
Yeah.
The leadership at that time failed them. And it got to a point where after that, there was no longer enough government support to make a comparable offer in any peace talks.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I feel like, as you mentioned before, the fact that he has lingered so long, it also makes like the individual and not necessarily the state also kind of feel like we don't see a good answer coming out of any of this. So we are just fine where we are right now.
Yeah, it's gotten to a point where it's a game of egos more than anything else, and there's a lot of bad faith players in the agenda, and on both sides. Like, when it comes to the issue with the Palestinians, I'm far from saying, oh, my country did everything right and we're all goody two shoes. No, this is a horrible situation of a people in the making. It's horrible and it's sad, and like I hope that by the time my daughter has to do her mandatory service, we will find a peaceful resolution that is beneficial to both parties. But with the rise of fundamentalism on both sides and egos playing a part, and the fact that there's a lot of international forces at work here, it's gone to a point where the line between political and personal is really thin. And I'm just kind of looking at it like, oh fuck, oh boy.
Yeah, I hope he gets better.
I'm very confident it won't. Have a step up early, Prevrale. Oh, God. Bombard me with Jew jokes in the comments, please. I need them. Shit.
Same. But yeah.
How do I do the litany of the emperor in Yiddish?
You asked me.
You're the educated one.
Well, thanks for that. I don't know.
Yiddish is really messed up German, just so you know.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I don't know if you can do it.
The last few weeks with you. Oh man.
Like for those who don't know, me and Jack kind of text on an almost daily basis. Mostly it's me sending him memes and muscle mommies. Much appreciated. Muscle mommies for the win, my dude. Mommies for the win.
Much appreciated.
Yeah. Why don't you like normal sized women? Because I'm afraid to break them. That's why I don't like normal sized women.
Yes.
I need something I could smash.
Dude, when you deadlift so much, you're afraid of breaking.
Have we ever talked about like my lifting numbers? Did we ever bring that up?
No,
I sent you the photos from my last squat workout.
No, I don't think you did.
I was doing speed work and I did 250 kilo on a squat so fucking fast. It just like it went up so quick.
Damn.
Yeah, but I will say last few weeks have been kind of on and off with my training. I just didn't feel like it. Like my country's on fire. Squats can wait.
You can run through the streets, chased by
trying to
Israeli cowboy.
trying to push back the cavalry like Jean Valjean in Les Miserables. No, but yeah, it's been fucked. So I actually got back to heavy bench pressing the other week,
Yeah.
and for me it's really hard to do heavy benches because my shoulders are all fucked up. I had pre-existing injuries from playing. Yes, I know it's the most American thing ever for an Israeli to say, from playing football.
Yeah.
I really messed up one of my shoulders playing football, and I messed up the other shoulder doing shoulder presses when I was in high school. I messed around and fucked up one of my shoulders, and it's been a chronic thing. And then I re-injured that same shoulder doing jujitsu. So heavy benching has really been on and off for me for like 10 years. But I did 315 and 365 for very easy singles, and I definitely had anywhere between 405 to 425 in me for a single. Not the heaviest I've ever bench pressed, but definitely in the vicinity of the heaviest I've ever bench pressed without being on Mexican supplements. I know I shaved off a few years off my life. Like doing a like doing that shit. But I did take the 170s for a ride on the incline, so that was fun. Yeah, what's his name? Robert something 315. The guy with the loves a 4-letter word, but so is curl.
Yeah.
Robert Frank 315, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he'd be proud of my dumbbell incline bench press at the time. 170s for reps is a bitch. I don't know if you do heavy dumbbell. Like, I know you do a lot of calisthenics and you do.
Yeah, I've started. It's funny enough. I've started training arms seriously now because I never did since I've inherited my mom's arms.
You know what I hate about you? You know what I hate?
What?
You have like, I don't know, 16 or 17-inch arms, right?
Yeah, they're pretty up there.
And you're telling me now, yeah, I started training arms just recently. Like, motherfucker.
I never. It's not my fault. Ask my mom.
No, I can't complain about my arms. Like, at my biggest, my arms were a little over 20 inches, so that's okay. Like, that's pretty jacked. Yeah. But I'm the same thing with quads. Like, I have not done direct hypertrophy work for quads in the better part of 5 years. They're still over 30 inches. I cannot get these motherfuckers to go away.
But okay, dude, I think that we should.
Yeah, we went full meathead with the conversation.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
pray for me, brother. I am pinned here, and to all of our listening battle brothers, I wish courage and honor.
Yeah, and looking forward to what's coming up with Arcs of Omens, and yeah.
And the ecclesiarchy taking over my country. Doesn't Itamar Ben-Gvir sound a bit like Gog Van Dyer?
Now that you say it, yep.
I can't die, I'm too busy. All right, dude, have a wonderful day.
Yeah, you too, man. See you guys
Bye-bye.
in the next one. Bye.